Peace and blessings, family. It is yours truly, Amari. I am the founder of El Carolina Unity Alliance. My queen, Amari, is the co-founder. And we focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. Hopefully, everyone's weekend is going well. Certainly, my queen and I have been taking out the time to empower ourselves spiritually and financially. Yes, indeed, man. We focus on our spiritual and our financial well-being. Also, I have researched some educational tools that will help me to have and help us to have better health as well. So I just wanted to come with a positive message. There's so much turmoil that's going on today. Every time you turn around, there's some negative transmissions that's being put out there in the air. And those negative frequencies is causing people to panic, causing people to be in disparity. But on today, I just simply wanted to bring a message to those who may be in doubt. I want to bring a word of encouragement on today, and just to simply share some information with you that hopefully will transform your thinking and put you on the right path and position you in the posture of a champion. Our desire is to see for you to win in life. Our attitude is servitude. So we would want to see you and your family have victory. My queen and I, we have victory. We're more than conquerors around here. We see that the battle was won. Okay, and this what keeps us in a position of being a champion in life, to be able to win the victories in life. So it's very important that you ensure that you work on the programming of your mind. It is imperative because the battlefield is in your mind. It all stems from your mind. This is the reason why this ministry, we focus on the mindset, because we fully understand that you live the way that you think. That's not just a cliche. That's something I live by every single solitary day. Okay, this is the reason why that my family and we are so prosperous, is because we have a prosperous mindset. Your perception is what will bring prosperity in your life, or it will bring poverty in your life. Your perception is your reality. If you feel like the battle is lost, then you will not have any fight in you. When you can actually win the battle of your mind, the battle over your health, the battle over your wealth, you have to take control of yourself. And if you don't take control of your mind will get out of control, and then your life will get out of control. You have to have mental stability to be able to stand in an hour like this. I am a retired Marine. I did a total of 20 years in the United States Marine Corps. I was trained for battle. Okay? And one thing that they taught us is you have to maintain your cool. You have to have a cool head. Because see, when you have a cool head, you're able to think clearly. You're able to maneuver, although bullets are flying, although somebody may be getting shot, although some people may be dying. But you have to maintain your focus in order for you to be able to make the right moves, in order for you to be able to win the battle, to have the victory over your enemy. See, when an enemy is firing at you, the enemy wants you to retreat, or the enemy wants you to give up. Okay? And then the enemy wins. So our enemy in life is the spirit of doubt. In a situation like this that's going on today, because of all of the things that's being said on the news and social media, you have to guard your heart and mind. You have to have the shield of faith to be able to quench the fiery darts of doubt. that will come into your life and cause you to lose your footing, cause you to lose your mind. See, doubt is your enemy. Let me share a testimony with you. Once upon a time, I was sleeping on a pallet on the floor. I had no vehicle, inclusive with that. I was struggling financially, but I kept the faith. I did not see myself there. That was not my expected end, because I know that there is greater for my life. I refuse to make that temporary situation a permanent situation in my life. And because of my faith, and because of me persevering, because of my perception, it caused me to persevere, and it took me out of poverty into prosperity. You're listening to a man who comes from a drug-infested, crime-infested, broken family environment. And now you're listening to a serial entrepreneur who owns multiple properties with his queen, who has a beautiful wife and life because of the mindset. Beloved, those of you who listen to me today, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not looking for an offering plate or anything like that. So I have nothing to gain. Listen, the reward today that I'm seeking is to help you to live your life victoriously and to stop listening to the lies that you are hearing in your ears. Not only does faith cometh by hearing, but doubt cometh by hearing too. And if you are receptive to the lies that you hear and you believe it, then the lies that you hear will keep you from your land of milk and honey. I want you to understand that you have to go through it to get to it. No champion that I know, a boxer, a track runner, basketball players, baseball players, etc. They face opposition, but I don't know any of them who won the belt, who won the gold medal, who won the championship without an opponent that tried to keep them from accomplishing their goal. I don't know of anyone who is a champion that is prosperous today that had not faced a day of adversity before they were championed. Family, this is a battle. This is a war over your mind. And in order for you to be able to take control of this adverse situation, you must take control of your mind and you must speak positive affirmations. Some people don't think that these things work. Listen, I'm here to bear witness. I bear witness, and I am here to testify and to stand before you that the miracle, wonder, working power of Olodumare, God, Yah, Allah, whomsoever you want to title this individual, the supernatural realm, it does work. The information will benefit you nothing if you don't mix it with faith. the teachings that's being taught on this program about financial literacy to empower you financially. Listen, I did not come from off of a pallet on the floor into a 3,000 square foot home, owning multiple properties, 2 of which are free and clear, in a beautiful home, in a beautiful marriage, living victoriously by not applying these same principles that I am telling you. The reason why those who wanted to see me defeated did not see me defeated is because of my mindset. What they got is a front row seat to see me win. They was looking for me to fall. I heard people say it with my own ears. Heard them say, you won't make it. But because I kept the faith, I kept fighting. I kept speaking positive affirmations over my life, regardless of what it looked like externally. I held on to what I knew internally. And not only did I speak positive affirmations over my life, I prayed and performed until something happened. I seen the universe put some super on my natural. I'm here to tell you right now that if you have a prosperous mentality, prosperity will be magnetized in your life. You're talking to a person who grew up in the hood. You're talking to a person who father told him at the age of 5 he didn't want to see him anymore. You're talking to a person who mother gave him away. You're talking to a person who's seen nothing but poverty and destruction. And here I am today, standing victoriously, prosperously, talking to you. Listen, I am here to tell you right now, you need to get accurate financial information and implement that information, and it will take you from poverty to prosperity. I am here to tell you right now, if you have a positive mindset, okay, and that will in turn give you a positive perspective. And if you have a positive perspective, inclusive with accurate information and the implementation of that information, it will lead to a transition in your life, and it will change the posture that you are in your life. You just need the right information mixed with faith. And you need execution to execute poverty that's in your life. This is not something I'm just saying sitting in here in my own home office and, living good right now. Because listen, this is the reason why I'm testifying. I have to share this. I dare not hold this back. I'm going to present it the way the Spirit put it in my spirit. I'm here to tell you right now, if you want to prosper in your life, you got to put in some action for the universe to give you a reaction. In order for the universe to be able to put some super on your natural, you got to position yourself to win. And you do this by opening yourself up, reading and listening to information that's going to empower you and give you power over poverty in your life. I'm a living witness that your life does not have to stay that way. That is a lie. No, you do not have to stay there. You do not have to remain in that zip code. You do not have to remain in chaos. You do not have to remain in lack. You do not have to stay in that position because you're African, because you're African male, because you're African female. You do not have to stay in that position because you come from a broken family, your life does not have to be broken. I'm here to tell you right now, if you apply the right information, it will heal you. It will make you whole. It will give you a right mind. It will put you in a position of a champion and you'll start winning in your life. You're talking to somebody who was on welfare. You're talking to somebody who knows what it is to get credit at a corner store. You're listening to somebody who has the deeds to the properties free and clear. You're listening to a man who came from a broken family, whose mother was a drug addict, whose mother was a drug dealer, whose father was in jail and incarcerated, who myself was in jail and get ready to face time because I had disturbed the peace. I resisted arrest. I assaulted 3 police officers. Okay? And I was facing time. I'm talking about years. Going to the upstate correctional facility in New York. You're listening to a man who's seen his friend brother get shot in front of him. You're listening to a man who lost his best friend at the age of 15. He was 14, got his head blew out. His brains blew out, excuse me. I am telling you, this is not an act. There is no Cash App, no $sign, okay, on this video. There's nothing for you to sow seed into. I'm here to sow seed into you. I didn't come to be ministered unto. I come to minister. And I come to help you to come out of the darkness and get into the light. So many people today that look like me, they live defeated lives because of their mindset. They call themselves a slave. Oh, I'm a slave. I'm a slave to the system. Oh, I can't. Listen. You are what you say that you are. If my queen and I were to move to Africa, we can move to Africa. If we want to move to Jamaica, we can move to Jamaica. If we want to go to the Bahamas, we can move to the Bahamas. Huh? See, I don't think that way. My thought process brought me out. My positive attitude took me from poverty to prosperity to being the Lord of my land. To being self-employed where my queen and I both, we write ourselves a check. You understand what I'm saying to you? People stay in the position that they're in is because of their perception. Their position is because of their perception. You may say, Brother Mar, the pandemic is going on. Brother Mar, I don't know where my next meal is coming from. I'm telling you right now, if you pray and you put in the work and you come up with a strategic plan, I'm here to tell you right now. People will say, how you doing it? How you able to make it? Because the universe will put some super on your natural. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I've seen. I've seen miracles. Stop listening to these people who are barren and they're fruitless and they don't have any fruit in their life. You keep listening to people that have a broke mindset, and that's why they're broke. They're poverty magnets because that's all they speak. They negative magnets because their mind is always focusing on negative things. Come from among them and be ye separate. Separate yourself. If you want to do better, you got to think better. If you want to have better, you got to think better. I got to chop the doubt, head off right now today. I'ma slay it today. My people will not continue to walk around with their head down. I refuse to do it until I transition with the ancestors. I will continue to put in this work. You don't have to live defeated. You don't have to be broke. That is a lie. Regardless of what's going on around you, I'm here to tell you right now, I don't give a doggone what no professionals say. They will never trump the word of God. Hear me. Hear what I'm telling you. They will never trump the word of God. When the Spirit speaks, I listen, I move. And every time I've done so, I've been blessed. And then people, they get mad at you. Oh, they think that they're better. They think they're better than us. Oh, this and this and this and that. Man, listen, I don't have no time for that. I don't have no time for that. I don't have no time for immature little choir babies who want to sit there and have a pity party all day long. Why are you going to sit there and die? I have no time for that. I have no time to hear about what the Caucasian. I know what the racists did. But guess what? The racists did the same thing to my ancestors as yours. We got the same ancestors. Our ancestors came over here on the same boat. But I'm not broke. I'm going to say it again. My ancestors came over here in the same boat, but I'm not broke. What is the difference? It's because I don't have a broke mindset. I refuse to accept that I can't make it, that I can't do it, that I can't have it. But we continue to speak this toxic foolishness into our lives and pumping our community with this mess. And this brother right here is called an example chosen by ancestors, just like in Black Wall Street. Huh? Don't tell me, hear me now, don't tell me that we can't make it when they had it worse than us. Our ancestors are living testimonies. Madam C.J. Walker, Booker T. Washington, Benjamin Banneker, and as much as some of you don't like her, Oprah Winfrey, as much as some of you don't like her, that woman had to work to get where she's at today. You know what her grandmother told her? I listened to her story. You know what her grandmother told her? Her own grandmother told her to learn how to hang up clothes, because that's what she's going to be doing for the rest of her life. Did you hear what I said? Her own grandmama told her that. Is she hanging up clothes for the rest of her life? You know why? Because she refused to accept that as her reality. I don't have to agree with everything she's saying she do. But one thing is true, is the power of the mind. Just because you're an activist does not mean you have to be broke. I'm going to say it again. Just because you fight for our people does not mean that you have to be broke. No, you're broke because you're not applying solid financial strategies. It's not because you're African. It's because you haven't learned what the rich people know. And if you desire to be wealthy, you have to learn from the wealthy. Michael Jordan is a billionaire. What did he do? The brother worked. He put in the work. He wasn't always rich, but the brother put in the work, practicing, putting all the hours on the court, working out, practicing when everybody else left the gym. Michael Jordan's still on the court. Again, I don't have to agree with how the brother lived his whole life. I'm not his guy. He don't have to answer to me. But one thing I do is listen and I learn from those who did it and those who walk in greatness. But our problem is we listen to people that's just as broke as some of us are. Huh? That's our problem. We listen to people that don't have nothing. That's why a lot of us don't have nothing, because we listen to people who are in the same position as we are. Stop listening to people who are in prison in their mind. How can they liberate you and they themselves are incarcerated? They're persuaded they're a slave. How can they liberate you and they think they're not free? We're born free. You accept slavery or not, just like our ancestors did who fought to the death. Give them liberty or give them death. Do you hear what I'm saying? It was some of our ancestors that chose to fight and maintain their freedom and die. Let me ask you something. Are you willing to fight for your freedom, friend? Let me ask you that. How serious are you about your family winning today? Huh? How serious are you about you winning? You hear me? How serious are you about you winning? Do you understand? Do you understand? Let me help you out. Huh? This is what you call being serious to win. Information. 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 Huh? Natural information. Spiritual information. Spiritual information. Natural information. Do you see that? Huh? Our people perish for the lack of knowledge and because they reject knowledge. And because the teachers, keep reading in that verse, it says because the teachers did not teach them. Understand me very closely. Listen to me very closely. Understand me very well. God did not bless me with this knowledge and this wisdom for nothing. I was almost shot. Hear me now. I was almost shot point blank range twice when I was in the streets. I was set up at my friend's brother's barbershop to be killed. Hear me now. Hear what I'm saying to you. This is not no game. I'm not doing this for no fame. I kept it real in the streets and I'm going to keep it real now. I went to Iraq. I was almost blown up. Hear me. I was almost blown up 3 times. Listen, my best friend, before he left here, I invited him to come to the temple with me the night before he left here. Hear what I'm saying to you. This is not no game. Hear what I'm saying to you. Because I come from the streets. I come from the hood. I come off of welfare. This is not no game to me. I am serious right now. I invited my friend to come to the temple with me that night. He didn't go. He went to a party instead, got into a fight, and unfortunately lost his life. I went to the temple. I chose to live right. And I'm alive today talking to you right now. Huh? When I was in Iraq, there was a mortar that came near my barracks, shook the barracks, shook my barracks. I'm alive talking to you today. When I went to Iraq, over in Fallujah in 2005, where it was after the initial push in 2004, I was in Iraq. Hear what I'm saying to you, beloved. When I was at the chow hall, which you call a dining facility, okay, some of you'll call it a dining facility, some of you call it a restaurant, okay, in civilian terms. There was an IED, which is an improvised explosive device planted outside the chow hall, and I'm alive talking to you today. Last story. We was on our way home coming back from Iraq. We was on a convoy. We had a whole bunch of trucks going on to another base. We was going from Fallujah to a base called Al-Taqaddum, TQ. We had to fly out from there. They was going to put us on some planes and stuff, but the planes and everything was packed, so they had to put us on land instead of air. On our way traveling to the next base, Al-Taqaddum, we got stopped. The lead vehicle had stopped us. They seen some wiring and everything that was sticking out in the ground. I was in the third truck. Guess what? It was another improvised explosive device. I was in the third truck. Guess how much explosives was out there? Enough to blow up almost near half of a city block. When I was a child, I got ran over by a car. The axle of the car was getting ready to hit me in my head. It was a bright light that shined, pulled my body from up under the car, and I was on the side of the road. My eyes, only thing I seen was a bright light. I closed my eyes because the axle was getting ready to hit me in my head, and my body flew from up under the car. The only thing I seen was a man in white clothes. This man touched me, told me it's going to be okay. Guess what? My family can bear record. My mother and my grandmother them can bear record to this. My leg was broke. I couldn't even feel it after this being touched me. This being was up there with me inside of the ambulance, touched my leg. I seen this being, closed my eyes, opened my eyes back up. This being was gone. I asked the medics in the vehicle, I said, where is the man in an all white? They looked at each other. They said, a man in all white? I said, yeah, he was sitting right there. To the right. I was 5 years old. I was 5. My mother, she came busting out the house, running over there, coming to see what's going on. I said, Mama, did you see that man with the all white on? She looked at the man and like, what is he talking about? He said, ma'am, he said, you know, we think that because he lost so much blood that he hallucinating. Family, let me tell you something. This life right here, I'm about that. This is real. I'm not going to speak for nobody else. The only thing I can tell you is that prayer included with works will be a blessing to you. Your faith and the supernatural will be a blessing to you. I'm not going to sit up here and try to argue with nobody and try to explain why our ancestors was put on slave ships. I'm not going to sit up here and try to argue with nobody about why, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't rescued from the church. Family, the only thing I know is that when I prayed, I seen people right before my eyes heal instantly. This is all I know. The only thing I know is that I seen what the power of prayer can do. This is all Amar can tell you. The only thing I could do is speak for myself. The only thing I could do is bear witness for myself. I can only tell you what I seen, what prayer, including with work, does. That's all I can tell you. And the only thing that I know is I've seen miracles, signs, and wonders in my life. I seen me going from on a floor, sleeping on a pallet, then have no vehicle. I seen me go from that to having a house full of furniture paid off. I'm talking about in this within not even a year. Not with even in a year. I went from sleeping on a pallet on the floor to a house full of furniture paid off and driving my own vehicle. This is all I can tell you. The only thing I know is that prayer changes things. Only thing I know is though the vision and though the dream and though the word that you hear in your spirit may tarry, I'm here to tell you, those of you who are faith, to continue to wait on it. Surely it shall come to pass. And forget what all the naysayers say. Forget what all these doubters say. The skeptics say. The only thing I know is that when I call on Olodumare, the only thing I know when I invoke the presence of the ancestors, the only thing I know is that blessings come down. The only thing I know, speaking positive affirmations, putting in the work, doing my part, saying these prayers out of this book, and putting in the work, reading financial information and implementing that information. I have seen the universe put some super on my natural, and I have seen abundant blessings flow in our life. I am not telling you that I've not had any obstacles. I will sit here and be lying to you. Okay? But one thing I do know, that you have to fight the good fight of faith. One thing I do know, you have to continue to press toward the mark. One thing I do know, that those who continue to press and they faint not, they shall receive the reward. That's one thing I do know. One thing I do know, the universe has given you power to get wealth. One thing I do know, the blessings of the Most High make it rich and addeth no sorrow. That's one thing I do know. And just because it doesn't happen as soon as you want it to happen, doesn't mean that you heard a lie. Just because it doesn't happen as soon as you want it to happen, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because things happen and push you back and set you back does not mean it's not going to happen. You have to endure. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for after he is tried, he shall inherit the crown, the crown. If you give up, then you give up your blessing. This is all I know. All I know is, if you never put in the work, you'll never see it happen. And if you give up before you cross the finish line, then you don't deserve the reward. I never seen somebody who didn't cross the finish line receive a gold medal. I've never seen that in my life. I haven't seen that. I've never seen a team not show up to the championship game and not play and win the championship. I've never seen that. So, beloved, if you want it, you're going to have to work for it. And then you're going to have to allow the universe to put some super on your natural. And you'll start seeing those things in the natural that you see manifest in the supernatural. You'll see it manifest in the natural, and you'll see it become tangible. Sometimes some things are going to come quick. Sometimes some things are going to take a little longer than others. But you have to be hungry enough for you to continue to go after it regardless of the opposition that you are facing. You have to press. And I'm done. For those who hung in there, hopefully this was a blessing for you on today. Again, this is yours truly, Amar Mari. I am the founder of El Kebalan Unity Alliance, where we focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. My queen, Amani Amari, is the co-founder. We thank you so much for tuning in. For all of you who have subscribed to our YouTube channel, thank you so much for taking us over 300 subscribers. But as I always say, it's not about that. What it's about is about transforming lives. And we believe as more lives is touched, more lives that are touched can touch other lives. So we ask you to share these videos, again, not for vanity, as my good brother Michael Neal say, not for popularity, but so that lives can be transformed. Other people can be empowered too. Somebody needs to hear this message. Somebody needs to be encouraged. Somebody needs to have some faith. Somebody needs to understand their purpose in this life. Somebody needs to know that it's okay to be in solitude sometime. And the reason why we're separated, because guess what? Sometimes you have to separate yourself from people who are weights in order for you to go to the next level. A lot of times ties have to be cut in order for you to go to the next level. And that's all I'm going to tell you right there. Everybody is not meant to be in your life, even though they look like you. Everybody is not meant to be in your life, even if they're family. Everybody is not meant to be in your life, even if they grew up with you. Everybody is not meant to be in your life. Because their mindset will set you back. And your mindset has set you up so you can go up and you can blow up and you can get to come up. Peace.